So we've all heard that cash is king, right? But why exactly is that so important for small business owners? Well, at its most general sense, we think of cash flow, cash coming in, cash going out. So why is it so important for businesses? Well, from an obvious standpoint, we need money to come in to pay for things and hopefully ourselves too, right? We want a business to be profitable. Now, profitability and cash flow, they are two different things, right? So when it comes to cash management, how much money we've got in the bank and how much money is coming in and going out, all of that management, luckily for us, we have really good technology tools here. So I'll talk about three very simple moves that you could do today as a small business owner to really help you improve your cash flow management system and really start feeling like you're winning all of this cash flow game. So one strategy is really to leverage the tools. Quite simple. So AI, of course, there are lots of apps that you can use and lots of functions even within your own accounting system. So I've mentioned this before. You're likely already paying for a lot of these features. You just have to learn how to use them. So you can set up your system to where, of course, you're getting historical transactions in there. We want that in there nice and easy so we can have real-time data. But you can also use your system to help you really think of the future. So you can set up forecasting, you can have goal-oriented budgets, and you can know exactly where you stand on projects and how to price the next ones in the future. So you always want to make sure that you've got a good handle on what already happened, but you're really focused on where you want to go. So these reports, dashboards, all of these things can be customized to make sure that they're answering those questions for you and you're making better decisions in real time. You don't want to miss out on opportunities. So that's one step, of course, is to use the technology and make sure you know what the numbers mean. So it's great to have these tools, but we got to know how to use them and we got to know how to interpret those results. So make sure you get educated on how to read and interpret all of those reports. Now, still in line with technology, we can use specific apps for specific functions. So a big part of cash flow is money in and money out. So luckily there's great apps that integrate with your accounting software like QuickBooks Online or even desktop, as well as Xero. Melio is a good system, as well as Ramp. They are designed mostly for expense management. And I like them as well because they help you with collecting W-9s for contractors. So there's lots of really great features within these apps and they integrate very nicely. And no, you don't have to enter them twice. You don't have to enter expenses or invoicing in one and come over in your accounting software and do it twice. No, they integrate. You only do it once. But these you can also set up for auto pay as well as auto sending out those invoicing. So they're really great and you can really use those to speed up the cash collection and really manage how you are paying out those expenses. Because you got to make sure you got enough cash coming in and you don't want to spend too much that you don't have in the bank. So it's all about using these tools and really managing the money going in and out. And the last tip that I'll give is looking at centralized banking. Now, Relay is one that I have partnered with recently, and there are others, of course, but make sure your banks are really working for you. Now, banks, I have clients that have some like local banks that they really love working with. I don't encourage you to go and immediately pull your money out of those banks and never work with them again. You don't have to go with large national banks. You can keep your money and keep that relationship still with your local bank. But you can use a centralized banking platform like Relay. And I'll mention Relay, they are the only banking platform that is Profit First certified. So if you're familiar with that strategy, it's really common. It's a common strategy theory for real estate and investors, as well as even kind of service creative industries. So Relay is a common one with centralized banking. And what's nice about it is, again, you don't pull your money out of the physical bank. You keep that relationship with your local bank, but you use a centralized platform like Relay to sweep. So you'll transfer and you'll create multiple, we'll say, cash buckets or separate accounts, and some of them even accrue interest. So they're not just sitting in the bank. You can actually earn a little bit of money even while they're sitting in some of these more, like, we'll say, savings accounts. But you're sweeping money. So yeah, that might think, how is that going to make my life easier? We've got a lot of money coming and going. Well, that's where you got to use technology. You got to keep track of it, but you can also set it up with auto sweeps and auto transfers. So those are excellent for, you can have accounts just for certain types of buckets. I'll say if you want a profit account, which is very much in line with the profit first strategy theory. But you can have profit bucket, a tax bucket. Those are fun to pay, I know. But to have a separate checking account just for taxes, you can also have one for just operating expenses. Maybe you even have one for contractor payments if that's a big expenditure for your business. So these are just a good idea to kind of sweep money in and out and help you really see cash from a dashboard view and see how much you've got in different places to make sure that you are budgeting correctly for the money going in and the money going out. But hopefully these were helpful. They really are pretty simple strategies. Now, I don't encourage you to just do all of them at once. Perhaps pick a few and see what integrates best with your accounting system first. But they can really help you manage your cash and also get kind of a better view of what you're going to do with your cash going forward so that you can really go after opportunities and increase your profitability.